If you're doing high 7 or 8 figures and you have not recently optimized your FAQ section, you're losing way more money than you think. In this video, I'll show you how to fix that today based on what I found when analyzing 29 different 8 and 9 figure brands FAQ section. From the 29 8 and 9 figure brands that I analyzed, they have 12 questions in common that you should implement today if you do not already have these in your FAQ. The FAQ is way overlooked by smaller stores because they think it's a support section, while in reality, it's one of the most high intent sections you have on your entire product page. The visitors engaging with your FAQ section are some of the highest intent visitors you have. And if you answer the questions wrong, or if you feature the wrong questions, you are seriously hurting your conversion rate. So let's get started. The number one question they have in common is, when will I see results? Here you can see Copenhagen Grooming, Magic Mind, Pet Lab Co., and The Ordinary. The reason this works really well is because of specificity. Your visitors might believe in the outcome and believe in the benefit, but if they don't have a specific anchor as to when they know they will have this outcome, then your price will seem way more expensive than if they have a specific time frame that they can expect results from. So if you're good at giving them more specifics about when to get the benefit and how much of the benefit they get at certain time frames, you are directly increasing the perceived value of your price. The second question they have in common is, how do I use this? The reason this works is because the visitor needs reassurance that if they buy the product and they get the product, they know exactly how to use it to get their benefit. When a potential customer is really close to buying, this is when the details matter the most. Because any void of information, any void of detail, will actively keep them from committing to actually purchasing your product. And one of the things that hold them back at the last part of the buying journey is that they need to be assured that they can get the outcome that they now have been sold on. So by telling them and showing them exactly how to use the product in a very simple and engaging way, they will feel reassured that when they get the product, they know exactly what to do with it to get the dream result that they are buying. Most 8 and 9 figure brands also have a really good dedicated section to how to use on their product pages. So I'm really not surprised that this is the second most shared question in the FAQ as well. The third question they have in common is a very typical cold feet last stretch objection, which is, why should I choose you over other alternatives? Remember that most of your funnel and most of your visitors will be people that are very reserved to buy your product. This means that their subconscious and even their conscious will work really hard to try to not be easy to convert and to try to not buy your product. Often this objection is more of an excuse to escape the purchase commitment by feeling like they are being thorough with their purchase decision. So do not treat this as a very logical objection. This is more of a feeling that they need to be convinced, because that's how they feel the most secure. To answer this escape objection, just focus completely on providing details about what makes your product and your brand special. They need to feel that they are buying something that's different from alternatives. The fourth question, which is most health related, is, what am I actually putting in or on my body? To answer this question effectively, you have to educate your visitor and give them a breakdown of what constitutes your product. And this is to assure the visitor that there isn't anything sketchy behind the scenes that provides the outcome but has big drawback, and to let the visitor feel like they understand your product and why it works and why it's better. As mentioned, when a potential customer is really close to buying, this is when they will have the most objections. Their brain will be looking for every reason not to buy, and you just have to walk them through every possible objection their brain might shoot and alert them on. Because a potential customer that has an active feeling of uncertainty will not purchase. So when you have successfully made them want to buy the product, you have to now make sure to dissolve any possible uncertainty that they can have and any friction they might have to complete the purchase. So the fifth question is, will this cause me any problems? Because before they buy, they want to know if there is any catch with your dream outcome. So focus on completely dissolving the feeling that there might be a catch with your product. And then number 6, what if it doesn't work for me? This is also one of those trying to escape the commitment objections, because people start thinking, but okay, it works for these people, but what if it doesn't work for me? What if I'm special, my situation is special? The highest converting way to answer this one is to give them a complete risk reversal, removing any risk associated and perceived with the purchase by answering with your guarantee, and also things to back up that your guarantee is real and doesn't have a catch, that as well. And then also part of the answer should be you answering a couple common cases so that the visitor might see a case that they think is special for them and that it has been working and that it's even designed to work in that case. The seventh question is this right for my specific situation? And this one goes hand in hand with number 6, that lowers the perceived likelihood of achieving. The best converting way to answer this question is just to give as many cases as you can, showing how your product's outcome is not compromised, even across a wide range of cases and external factors that the visitor might think impacts their likelihood of achievement. The next couple questions are filling in the gap when it comes to the practical things. If you have successfully answered the previous questions, you have the potential customer extremely close to buying, and their last layer of defense and objections now is the logical objections. Question number 8, and this one is extremely important, is when will I get it and how does shipping work? A very important concept to remember here is that the visitor feels a certain distance to your product. The goal is to close this perceived mental distance as much as you can. Humans are wired to want to see the return on investment and return on effort as fast as possible. This is why gambling, drugs, and instant gratification is unavoidable, because the brain is literally hardwired to take action where it thinks it can get a certain reward in the fastest time possible. To provide the highest converting answer here, try your best to meet the visitor where they are. This means try to give them the most specific explanation of when they will receive the product that you can. Focus on delivery, not shipping, because the visitor does not care about you shipping the product, they care about them receiving it. So you should always be specific about when it will get delivered to them and where. So if you deliver directly to their home, focus on that and focus on delivery and not shipping. FAQ number 9 is also a logical objection. It is, will this work with what I'm already using or what I already have? So basically it's a logical objection trying to identify if there's any conflict between something they already have or already use. So assure them that they will not have to give up something they already use and that they value, and that by using your product, it won't create any additional friction for something they already do. FAQ number 10 is, how is my payment treated? Here they want specific assurance if there's a subscription, what is the subscription interval and how do they cancel? And if it's not a subscription, you should include what payment providers you offer as well as when they will be charged after placing their order. FAQ number 11 is extremely powerful for your conversion rate, and it's, how does it feel to use? Because they can't know for sure that the expectation they have of what they are getting is the same as what they're actually going to get. To solve this objection, help them imagine how the product feels, how it is, and how they can expect it to be when they use it. And this is also all about specifics, because if you do not provide details and pointers that they can use to imagine the product and how it will feel and how it will benefit them, you're leaving them just with pure imagination, which they can't really trust. There will always be skepticism if they cannot verify that what they think they will get is what they will get. But if you give them a very clear picture of it that they can imagine, they can think of, then it makes it a much easier yes or no decision for them. Because then it goes from, do you want to try to see if this product is what it says it is, to this is what you will get from the product. Do you want to pay price for this? A bigger principle behind this one is always try to get your visitors to a yes or no decision. And then just make sure that you have value anchored the yes as much as you can, so that committing to the yes seems like the most beneficial choice. FAQ 12 and the last one is, what do I need to do to keep the benefits and the value of the product over time? If someone invests and pays for something, they want to feel secure that their investment will keep its value over time. This applies to your product as well. It's really important that you do not frame your product as an immediate cost, but rather an investment that keeps on giving over time. By providing them details and specifics about how they can keep their value and benefits over time, to dissolve any uncertainty about how they can maintain their product, to keep getting the value and benefits over time, thereby making your product a long-term investment. I have summarized the strategies that these 8 and 9-figure brands are using for their FAQ into 5 specific tactics that you or your team can use directly on your own FAQ to optimize it for conversion rate. Tactic number 1, take every objection you know of, pose it as a question and answer it in your FAQ. The more objections you directly address in your FAQ, the higher your chances of giving a sufficient answer to anyone coming to your page that might want to buy. Tactic number 2 is add a question and answer for the will this work for me, will this work for my specific situation questions that I just covered. Tactic number 3, take your biggest objection and make it your number 1 question in your FAQ. And then answer that question very specifically and detailed, and preferably use reviews, content you might have to enrich the answer. Tactic number 4, and this is one that a lot of brands do wrong, is write your FAQ like ad copy, not support copy. Your FAQ does the last stretch of selling for your highest intent visitors. So make sure it's written to sell, not just to answer. Tactic number 5 is cover different angles of your main objections. Number 1 was to have a question and answer for every objection. Number 5 is your main objections should get more than one question and answer. It's just like ad copy and creatives. You have to cover the objection from different angles. And this applies to your main objections in the FAQ as well. Now check your own FAQs. Chances are they are not serving your conversion rate the same way that the other sections on your store. There is still a very fundamental problem with FAQ sections on Shopify at this moment. The FAQ section is one of the few sections on your site where the visitor can directly interact with their specific objections and needs, stopping them from buying from you. It does not make sense for an FAQ section to only use text. Why are you not using specific reviews, specific videos, but especially reviews to answer and to help your FAQ answers? And also, when was the last time you did a real data-driven test on your FAQ? If your FAQ is not showing the right questions with the right answers, not featuring other content types like reviews to support your FAQ answers, and using the right layout, you are sabotaging your conversion rate for your highest intent visitors on your whole product page. If you think your media gallery, your video sections, your review sections, and your FAQ section could be better, you should try out the CRO system that we offer in the Shopify app, Eevy AI. It's a complete game changer for your conversion rate and to enable your team to do better CRO. If you feel like you're not using your behavioral and your conversion data on your website to the fullest degree possible, you should not be missing out on the value we provide with the CRO system in Eevy.